Welcome, everybody, Darlington Raceway. The next to last race in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series runs through South Carolina at this 1.36 mile oval. Legendary and iconic. A championship will be crowned through Darlington into Homestead next week. I'm Carmen alongside me, Kevin Young, to present tonight's action here from Darlington Raceway. And Kevin, this track is a pillar of stock car racing. It's a crown jewel on just about every single calendar. What are drivers looking at here tonight?
Well, we could go into the long story about the Meadow Pound and how the track owner didn't want to push it, but that's been said enough. So let's actually talk about the dynamics with the car here. It's a bit tricky, like a lot of these tracks have been, to try to get a handle on these tracks with this kind of one groove race line here, where it's very hard to wheel it in sometimes. You got to get close to the wall, brush it. It's going to be very interesting seeing in 3 and 4 if these drivers can keep the car planted and keep it going with the speed, because we've seen a lot of drivers, even in Gen 6 cars, even in next-gen cars, even in so on and so forth, through a lot of these series, you see them get close to that wall and end up hitting it at least a little bit. So it will be quite shocking to see throughout tonight if the winning car doesn't at least have a scratch on it somewhere.
Absolutely. Right now you're looking at the weather on the right-hand side of your screen. 16-mile-an-hour winds. Insane wind speeds here tonight at Darlington will give these drivers an additional challenge here tonight. 88 degrees. The air temp, track temp, 89 degrees. With the sun setting, both the track and air temp will go down tonight. So drivers will have to keep an eye on those tire temperatures as the race progresses here this evening. Wind speed almost completely due east here. So it's going to be a lot of side force down the straightaways. This track pretty perpendicular to the wind speed right now. This track, I believe, faces north-south, generally speaking. And the wind will be going from west to east here tonight. And now we're looking at Lilac Zier, 7th place at the moment in the timesheets. Provisionally, currently, the points leader, I do believe.
You are correct. She has a lead of 16 points over Christina Ryan, and a 26-point lead over John Hagen, and a 46-point lead, and a 46 over Ruby Acosta, and a 48 over Nicholas Pressy. That is your current top 5. But Zier's had 2 great weeks so far, and she's looking to keep this momentum going with only, again, 2 more rounds in the playoffs. She's caught fire. We saw her catch fire at Richmond, and she has ran that momentum into the playoffs along with Philip Snipes as well, but Phil's obviously not in the playoffs. But she's also done great work so far. It's been consistent for us, and that's what you need to do when the chase starts. And right now she's done that, and that's why she leads the points.
Right now she's sitting 7th fastest right now on the timesheets. Bryce Saucier is currently sitting in 8th place on track at the moment. Ruby Acosta for Queen's Design, the only Queen's Design for the rest of the season, as Callahan is on vacation. But Acosta currently sitting 5th fastest at the moment. John Hagen top of the board with Philip Snipes 2nd. Christina Ryan sitting in 3rd. With qualifying coming up here in just a couple minutes' time.
Yeah. And when qualifying due to start, like I said, in a couple minutes, it's going to be interesting to see because we're only 2 rounds left. We'll have to keep an eye on the championship. Obviously, chances of a clinch is unlikely tonight unless things went horribly south for a lot of cars. But Zier can put herself in a great spot if she runs a good race tonight. If she doesn't, that could open the door for the race winner. Whoever wins or gets a good finish could easily end up capitalizing. So the pressure is still on Zier to put down a good finish tonight, and the drivers still in this championship hunt. The Christina Ryans, the John Hagens, the Ruby Acostas, the Nicholas Pressys, the Zach McBrides, to go out there and put down good runs if they want to hoist the championship at Homestead next week.
Lilac Zier sitting again 7th fastest. Again, the car is kind of winding down and getting ready for qualifying here with the next 80 seconds of practice here. Zier has run 43 laps. Most laps run by anybody completely is Acosta with 47 laps completed in this practice session. So some miles being logged. Absolutely. Zier seeing her step it out of turn 4. She knows what it's like to be successful here.
Yeah.
Race here just a couple days ago in the ARC Saturday Night Showdown series. Looking to break through and get a win here tonight.
Another driver looking for their first win in any ABN competition. We always talk about him every week. It seems he has fast cars, but the bridesmaid, not the bride. John Hagen.
Yeah.
It's got very strong equipment, always seems to be in contention. One thing or another just cannot seal the deal. But looking tonight, he wants to start it. Why not wait to the one round for the last round here? So a lot of drivers could easily be threats to win, easily could be strong. So it's definitely, I don't think there's, you could probably throw like a dart at a dartboard with all the drivers' names on it, and it lands on someone, and there's a good chance they could win. That's how strong this field is here tonight.
Josh Gaiman, 6th fastest, getting some final warm-up in before qualifying. We'll see qualifying, 10-minute session, and then we'll have the race itself after a driver's meeting. So, for those that are new,
yep,
that's a bit of a breakdown as to how tonight's going to go. 146th lap race here this evening, 200 miles.
Yep, and now we will start qualifying. If you are new, 2 laps the drivers will get to set down a time. Any wall taps or anything, well, major wall taps or anything else that is spin will be an invalidation.
First car up, Bryce Osier.
Yep. He's usually not the first car that usually goes out. We usually see it sometimes be a different driver. We've seen, obviously, when Pelt Sharp, if she was running, she would be one of those drivers that would go out first, a few others. But Sosier's a bit of a shock here. Usually he goes out middle to end. So that 07, that Kellogg's 07 machine, got the old, you could say the Kyle Busch, Mark Martin kind of vibe, because they both ran a similar scheme. Probably Kyle Busch because of the gen his cars are in. And he will be setting on his way here, be the torchbearer, to set the time that the rest of the field will have to beat.
Phil Snipes, Nick Pressey, and Rubio Costa also now on track right now. Sosier just tied the wall there on his first lap. I believe this lap will now be invalidated. And that's going to be a challenge a lot of these drivers have tonight.
Yeah. Depends on how hard he hit. A light tap, maybe he could get away with, but if he smacked it a ton, yeah, that is going to be invalidation city. We'll see as he comes down 3 and 4 here. Obviously, he still has to keep the throttle set up for the second lap here. Cannot let the first lap throw him away too much here. Cross the line. Did it count? No, it did not. So we're still waiting for the next car to cross the line here to set the time. So it should be, by the time of scoring, it should have been Philip Snipes, but he also did not set a time. So it looks like it may be Nicholas Pressey. Already some drivers struggling to put times down here. And he will be the driver that sets the first time, the number 94 machine. Pole position of 30-10. As more drivers now starting to file out of pit lane and start their laps. We'll see if Sosier can do on, well, I think he's coming to lap number 2 here. Cross the line in the 07. And that's going to be P2 for the 07, 30.23. So Nicholas Pressey eMotorsports currently got a 1-2 right now. But obviously that can change as Philip Snipes just proves it by going and taking the top of the board. And we'll cut to Christina Ryan. She's going to start her first lap here in the number 80 Pennzoil machine.
Yeah, Ryan, Acosta, Zier, and Gaiman on track now.
Yep.
And Acosta did not set a time. There she goes, 4th fastest for Acosta. With that second lap.
Hagen, yep, looking at the times here. Hagen's about to finish his second run. Christina Ryan about to finish her first. We'll see what either driver can do here. Hagen proves to go to pole. Christina Ryan jumps to 5th.
Second lap's the money lap.
Gaiman's first run could be telling here.
Yeah.
That is trending in a good direction in comparison to all the cars around.
Second lap in the books for Ryan.
And it's
not better.
Not better. Oh, and you can see her hit the wall there in one, but obviously that was just, she knew the lap was done.
And Gaiman didn't get much better. He just got 3rd.
So that's going to leave it up to Zier. Zier is the last car here on a run. She just finished her first lap here. If the second lap is indicative, it's only going to be good for P7 right now. So the second lap has been the money lap for most of the field. They've used it to improve. Let's see what she can do in that pink and white 89 machine with a green number. Running the sponsor, sponsored by the sponsor of the race, if you will, so she can put the sponsored on the pole.
Oh, no.
There.
That's going to go that lap.
Yep, and that's lap 2 for her. Probably not too thrilled about that one. So that is going to be, well, it's not that yet. Zach McBride still hasn't headed out yet, but he's using someone that doesn't put down a quality run. So at the moment, John Hagan is looking good with about 5 minutes to go here to be our pole sitter. The only one that can challenge that would be Zach McBride if he elects to go out. He's got 5 minutes to do that, and with how short the laps are, he'd have to leave about with 2 minutes and change to go to have a decent chance to put down 2 laps. So we'll keep an eye on that. Should be over there. The only car on track right now is Christina Ryan, who, even though she hit the wall, we saw her hit the wall, he hasn't towed a pit lane, so she's just kind of sitting there. Right wheel going a bit crazy. Uh-oh.
Good, waiting out the timer here. 4 minutes 50 left to go in the session.
Yep. And after this will be a warm-up, so again, if you are currently in the chat, it's a good opportunity to go get a drink, use the bathroom, do what you want, because with warm-up, they'll be on track, but commentary will be off until the duration of warm-up is complete, or at least until driver's meeting is complete, as Christina just blew the engine, so that car is going to need a tow truck to get back to the pit lane. By the way, while we have this time here, obviously we're waiting for those that have stuck it out through thin and thick through all the races so far. We thank you for showing up. And if you're new as well, thank you for joining us here at ABN for the AdminBoxx Cup Series here at Darlington. We hope you enjoy your stay here, and we will provide you some good racing. Darlington always provides a good show. At least the drone camera's getting a good work here at the very least. It's the pivot and angle. So they're just about to hit 3 minutes here on the clock. Qualifying is, yeah, just waiting for end of qualifying here.
Yep.
Still.
Everyone kind of got the qualifying out of the way early. See if anyone joins in last second, like what we saw last week.
Yeah, we saw a few drivers make the rush for the door, so that's why it's always good to have run the full quali out, just because it allows any last-minute entries.
Yeah, what we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and get drivers meeting started early. So we're going to go mute here on ABN Esports 1 to take care of drivers meeting, and then we'll get to see warm-up in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
All right, drivers meeting wrapped up here at Darlington with 6 minutes to spare. Everyone going through their progressions and final warm-ups. Josh Gaiman currently fast in the warm-up session. Alexi here sitting in third, and everyone now finding the limits as the lights turn on and the sun sets here at Darlington.
Yeah.
This again, last minute prep. Obviously, this pit rain being probably one of the trickiest that they're going to have to go to with its odd dimensions, where you have to brake, coming off the corner, getting down on the line. And with the series' projectionally has had a lot of green flag pit stops, at least one through most of the races so far on this calendar, it's likelihood that these drivers are going to have to get used to that pit lane. And it's probably something they at least want to practice with the 5 minutes of some change left. Kind of make sure they can get the car woe down, because we've seen even in real life drivers miss the pit lane, miss it wide, speed, and for the championship drivers, you do not want to make that happen on with the penultimate round before the championships decided.
5 minutes to go here in warm-up. And again, everyone on track, setting some lap times here. Zach McBride, who did not set a qualifying lap, showing some reasonable pace right now in that 47 machine.
Yep. I guess he felt a little bit more comfortable starting in the back, which I don't blame him, especially with these cars. So he's made that strategy work for him. Come out, have a kind of a don't quali, and just kind of let the chaos find around you. Because these cars do not have any faster pairs, so one mistake, and you will be out of this race if you damage the car that much. While we have this time in warp, Carmen, can you please share your screen as well?
Oh. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Snipe just on top of the board, 29.7.
He did. Now again, warm-up times aren't as indicative of race pace. We've seen some drivers throughout all the series that you've covered, Carmen, I've covered as well. Warm-up pace can be a bit indicative. It can be a good indicator, but it's not the be-all, end-all, because sometimes some drivers don't put their best in warm-ups. Sometimes they do. With a long warm-up time here, we'll have to see if it's indicative or not. For instance, Christina Ryan qualifies well. We know she's strong. She's currently sitting in P8, so we'll see if Philip Snipes has that race pace. I think he does. We've seen it throughout week in and week out. He can get a lot out of these cars. So I don't doubt he's got some fast time, but we'll see if he has the fastest or if that's maybe a bit of fool's gold. Speaking of, he now pulls in his pit box.
Yeah, Philip Snipes at the fastest time so far. Times will get faster as this race goes along. Cooler track temps means that it's going to be a little bit easier for cars tonight. Pull up the weather as we get ready and closer for this. Track temp and air temp both coming down a little bit. The wind still 16 miles an hour due east. So that's going to be a struggle for some of these cars tonight. The warm-up's still taking place here for everyone tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in from wherever you are around the world tonight. Penultimate race in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series from Darlington Raceway next week. The season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. Tomorrow night, we kick off our ABN Hyper Formula season with preseason testing at Okayama. So, as one season comes to a close, another season begins here on ABN. Pressy hits the wall exiting turn 4, got loose there. So you're sitting 4th fastest, and Ruby Acosta sitting in the top 5 at the moment.
Yep, minute 50 to go here. Last minute check, system checks. Best time to do it is now.
Before it comes to a close, you're 30 seconds away. Everyone getting some last second laps in. Nick Pressey currently fastest on track at the moment. Zier, Acosta, Ryan all on track as well. There's Christina Ryan in 6th position. As time gets ready to elapse, we will get ready to start running down the starting grid for tonight's race.
It's going to be indicative. It's going to be crucial. We know Zier, for instance, current points leader, starting in P7. He's going to have some work to do to get to the front.
Alrighty, it's time for the PetHouse 200 here at Darlington Raceway. Here's the starting grid on your screen. John Hagan, pole position here tonight. Nick Pressey in 2nd place. He will join on the front row of the field. Pole position was determined by less than half a hundredth, 5 milliseconds between the top two. Josh Gaiman in 3rd alongside Philip Snipes. There, they make up row 2. Ruby Acosta and Christina Ryan make up row number 3. Lilac Zier and Bryce Saucier make up row 4. And Zach McBride on his own rounds out the 5th row of the field. He will look at this race from the very back and try to make his way forward.
But he'll have a good view at the very least.
Absolutely. 87 degrees the air temp, 88 degrees the track temp, 34% humidity, a very low humidity. Should make it pretty easy for some drivers here tonight. The wind, however, will make it very difficult. 16 miles an hour from the east to the west. Will make these cars even more challenging here tonight.
Yeah, these cars are already a handful. Now add some wind that can easily upstable the car. And oh boy, you're going to have your hands full if you want to make this thing fast. As we get ready to go for the green, the penultimate round runs through Darlington, South Carolina. Now after tonight, the points gap, the point cutoff line gets shorter in the sense of how many points can be far back to the leader. And maybe, just maybe, we could crown a champion. But if not, we'll see who's in the best chance to be champion going into next week. This car came on off. And green flag is out, and away we go. The PetHouse 200. And Pressey clears going into 1 as the rest try to fan out.
He's not doing too bad of a job on that initial start. Hagan in 2nd, Josh Gaiman holds on to 3rd, Philip Snipes in 4th. McBride's got ahead of Saucier for that 8th spot. But right now, everyone pretty well line astern early on as they complete the first lap.
Yeah. Everyone kept it clean. Everyone kept it groovy. Now we'll see how you can attack, because it's a bit of a hard track to attack at, with grooves not being as forgiving, if you will. So if you know how to kind of plant the car and get the runoff, you can. But we'll see this battle here a little bit back. See Christina Ryan and Zier. I like Zier. Fighting for 6th at the moment. See, like, you got to be aggressive on the send if you really want to try to make something happen, but you got to be close enough to get the send off. Right there, you can see it possibly Gaiman peaking, but pad too far back.
Right now, Nick Pressey's in the best spot imaginable. He's got the clean air that he needs. Hagan struggling a little bit here. McBride now up 2 spots.
It's up to P7. The thing is, if you don't think you can pass, the next best opportunity you can at least try. Oh, Zach McBride may have got a bit of a commentator's curse there. Clips the wall. See a little puff of smoke there. He'll hold spot. But yeah, oh, he hits it again. And that one wasn't as forgiving.
Pushing just a little bit hard there. He did just set the fast lap of the race. For the moment, Acosta just took it away by 200ths. But McBride was pulling some pace. Pressey's being reeled back in by Hagen. As McBride tagged the wall a third time, and Zero go back around.
Right now, kind of helping Zero at the case is the train forming here. You can see this top 6 all in a pack. If one of them's a bit slow, whoever one of those 6 cars are, it could back them up in the Zero. So Zero just got to keep the head down if she wants to get back up. Same thing with McBride and Saucier. Right now, Pressey doing what he needs to do. But as the run goes on, the challenges are going to get harder and harder and more desperate from the cars behind. But at the very least, if you don't think you can make a run right now, it may be worth saving the tires, saving the stuff. As I think Costa's going to get a run on,
Philip Snipes he's back.
Pitting? No, he's not pitting. He's just dropping back.
I think it's one of those things where he wanted some space there because they were all nose to tail. He may have just wanted some space, sort of, probably preserve those tires, to be honest with you.
Maybe he senses trouble brewing here and doesn't want to be involved in an incident where it could take him out. So we've seen, for instance, we'll use Richmond as an example. He was able to capitalize when a lot of cars had off nights. He was able to capitalize and win that race. So it's not a bad strategy. If you think something's brewing bad, maybe give up a couple spots, save your tires, save for a late run, and try something a little bit more on the other side. So we'll see if that plays off for that Tennessee Volts machine. But his foul still up front here on lap number 8. Nicholas Pressey keeping Hagen and Gaiman at bay. Zier possibly going to make a move on Christina Ryan there, just in the background there. He's still side by side. Looks like, though, Ryan's going to get the run off the corner, as you got to be just a little bit closer to make that send work.
Lap 9 underway, and it's largely been incident-free. McBride has dropped back to the 9th position. Now beginning to struggle with the handling on that 47 machine.
Yeah, that's only going to get worse. I think 07 also clipped the wall. Almost went sideways there. Just saw him in the wide shot. But keep it straight, though. But, yeah, him and McBride kind of struggling here early on, both the machines. And, like I said, the handling's only going to get worse as the tires begin to fall off. So you're going to have to hope for a quick caution or something. Try to get regrouped here. You know, something I find interesting, at the very least, unrelated to the races, we kind of let the lull happen here for the second. But usually in NASCAR, you usually see low numbers dominate the field, yet the lowest, excluding Bryce Saucier's 07, the lowest number we have currently on the starting grid is a number 40.
Yeah.
So, a lot of high numbers running throughout this field here, which is a bit of odder when it comes to NASCAR sanctioned series. But all for it, at the very least, as we come to lap number 12, it's been the Pressey show up front. He's led all 12 laps. But Hagen and Gaiman still keeping that 94 honest as they are getting the pull away from that second groove of Ruby Acosta, Christine Ryan, and Lilac Zier. And Philip Snipes.
Yeah, well, top 7 all still together right now. Matter of when these tires begin to fall away. Who's been saving their stuff up the most? Gaiman's been trying to get around Hagen just about the entire time. To start lap 13, gives half a look down into turn 1.
Kind of going on that tire wear comment. We know some of these drivers like Philip Snipes get the life out of the tires. We saw last week, 2 weeks ago at Phoenix, he's able to try that strategy where one less pit stop, and it worked out for him to get a P2. So he knows he can make tires go long. We know some of these drivers in this top 6 aren't the best at whispering their tires to long distances. So when this cliff hits, it may hit hard.
Acosta reeling back in Gaiman here. Pressy running a little bit further from the wall and the 3 and 4. Top 7 now once again knows the tail. Philip Snipes is the very tail end of this line. Again, for those that are watching and maybe new to this, cars noted in orange on the leaderboard are drivers that are battling in the chase for the cup. Those in red are not. So a lot of chase drivers trying to make some points happen here. Pressy at the front of the field, definitely trying to capitalize on the situation as it sits right now. Lilacs here entered unofficially the championship leader. Pressy trying to change that. Pressy continues to lead, but that margin is still pretty small between the top 3.
It is keeping it close. Again, Hagen and Gaiman and Pressy, they're all keeping each other honest here. They're not allowing one car to really pull away or really dominate and get around.
Acosta at 4th place, ebbing and flowing here. Will get close to the Gaiman and then has to drop back a little bit to cool those tires down. Dirty air, a very critical issue, as is the tires overheating. That right front will be blistering a lot more if you're in dirty air trying to push to get more out of that car, that front end.
Clean air is your friend. Right now it's helping that 94 retreat. But Ruby Acosta is, we can see that second pack of Acosta, Ryan, and Zier. They are reeling in this top 3 a bit here. Acosta is running slightly faster laps than well, not slightly faster. She was running faster laps than Hagen and Pressy, running slower than Gaiman. But because those 2 cars are obviously ahead of the 61, it's in turn allowing Acosta to kind of slowly reel it along with that pack. Last time by, out of the 4 drivers just mentioned, the fastest was Hagen and Acosta, both tied at 31.01. So these Presley, I'm not saying he's slowing in the field because that's not the case. He's running equal times with the cars ahead, but no car is quick enough to really pull away, and they're kind of pulling each other down just a bit to keep this second pack honest and keeping them close as we're about to hit lap 20 here. But again, with it being a kind of not a 2-groove track, where at other tracks like Atlanta, Phoenix, you could send a move if you think you're faster, but here it's just a bit harder to do. You got to be more methodical or hope a driver makes a mistake. As you see on the time of scoring there, McBride is able to get around Saucier.
Saucier going down pit lane.
Yeah, about to say come in the pits. Hagen, though, looks like he's going to possibly try something or change the line a bit here. Try to get himself a better run.
He couldn't make it stick there. He got kind of sitting a little bit too hard there, and now he's going to be vulnerable to Gaiman as they start lap 21.
Oh, looks like Gaiman's got a chance here. He's going to try the run. How aggressive does he like to send it here? Problem is he's got a 94 right there, so he can't send it as aggressive. You're going to see right there, 94 cuts off, 52 keeps the line, but 52 gets a little loose. He'll hold spot. But that was a little bit almost calamity there for John Hagen.
Everyone loses the race another day. As you mentioned, Acosta closed in, but Acosta had to lift off the gas too because she thought they were going to wreck. So she gave up her momentum as well.
Yeah, can't be a hero here with a wrecked car.
No.
Especially, again, considering just standings-wise coming into tonight, the drivers we're currently focused on right now, all in that top 6. I pull up the standings here. Christina Ryan was 2nd, John Hagen 3rd, Acosta 4th, Nicholas Pressy 5th. Oh, we have to hold that thought, though. Doors open, Pressy makes a slight mistake, and Hagen looks like he's going to try to send. And it's also opened the door for Gaiman as well. 52 will get clear, and now the 94 and the 61 will be side by side for the moment. But I think the 61 is going to get the run off he needs. He's going to go way down here, gets a little loose. He's going to have to keep his foot through the corner here. If 94 can hold the line, he should be able to keep the spot, but he hits the wall hard there, and that's going to open the door for a bunch more cars to file suit here. Ruby Acosta gets around. Christina Ryan still side by side at the moment. She will clear, and Presley Findham will kind of slot in line. We still have one more car behind here with Zier, and Zier should clear here. Just showing a little bit of a one-groove track, one mistake, and it just opened the door for 5 to 6 cars to go around. I know Presley's going to be kicking himself, but he showed great pace. He can easily get back on that horse and try again. But first, he's got to make sure the car is still good enough with that hit he has. But the 52 also just clipped the wall there as well. But now this is the first time we've seen tonight a new car has been given some clean air here with John Hagen. Can he be able to kind of run away here? Or is he going to be hounded back in by Josh Gaiman and Ruby Acosta and the rest of the field?
Oh, Josh Gaiman's already answered that question. Closed the gap down in a half. In a single lap here. Down to half a second, the gap. This is Gaiman's favorite track, so he is more than excited to be able to kind of let loose now.
Oh, a little more scrape on the wall again. You can hear through the cameras. I mean, the cameras. Hear through my headset. I guess you can also hear through the cameras, too. Yeah, breathing room is now beginning to form. We saw this last 2 weeks ago at Phoenix. Oh, Hagen hits the wall again, though. I was going to say he was good at getting the rhythm and kind of pulling away when the stage went long. But right now, another good wall tap here. And this is going to raise another question as well. With pit stops, green flag pit stops are going to happen. Do you elect to fix this optional damage if you're in that situation? Obviously, it's going to cost you time. But at the same point, it may make the car a bit faster, but it's going to be risk-reward situation. Obviously, if it's a caution, you may do it. But we saw last week, 2 weeks ago, I know I keep bringing up the examples of Phoenix, but it's kind of still fresh in people's memories. In that regard, we saw John Hagen had an incident pit lane. He got put back with the bees and the and basically the wolves, if you will, and ended up kind of being in a big situation, right, involved in a big accident. So if we do get a caution and you have to fix the damage, you could be in a situation where you could be back with the Hornets. Right now, as we are coming to lap 30 here, John Hagen has opened up the gap a little bit here. He's going to have it to 0.8 over Gaiman. He's going to have basically another second on that, so about a little under 2 seconds ahead of Ruby Acosta for third. So right now it's going John Hagen's way at the moment. But we do got a bit of a battle here for third. Ruby Acosta under pressure for Christina Ryan. Ryan, them side by side. Christina going to get clear. Now Zier going to try to sneak through. So I think Ruby Acosta got a tad loose.
You see the damage on that left side, on the right side. There was a wall contact that started that.
And that's a 2-for-1 special. Ruby Acosta is the big loser there. But all these spots gained are helping, obviously, Christine Ryan, but it's also really helping Zier in this case, too, because every spot gained is giving Zier more and more points, which could make it more comfortable going into Homestead at the very least. But obviously, getting around Christine Ryan would be the end goal here. Trying to win the race would be the end goal. But right now, she's doing what she needs to do to get as many points as she can, maximize her day at the very least, and keep going forward from poor quality.
In the front, not a whole lot has changed. Gaiman once again dropping back a little bit. Now a second behind John Hagen. Biggest battle right now is third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh at the moment.
Yeah. Saucier really hasn't, not Saucier, Philip Snipes, because Saucier's behind the wall. Philip Snipes hasn't been really able to kind of, after he kind of pulled out here, maybe it was an incident, maybe he had a late mistake, because Ruby Costa clips the wall there. It's going to allow Philip the opportunity to possibly get a run, but he's going way low there, as he's actually pitting. So we saw this happen at Charlotte. We saw it at Phoenix. Nicholas Presley also coming in as well. He likes to pit early, get off sequence, and try different strategies. It's worked out for him in the past. So obviously with that 98 car having 2 wins on this season, worth trying something, and now going to have those fresh tires, try to make up some time, and maybe try to make the undercut work, at least in the short term.
Not a bad idea.
Nope. It's a little bit far back, so I don't see Hagen, Gaiman, Ryan, Z, or Acosta all trying to cover that off at the moment. So they'll go a little bit longer on their tires. The question is, how long will they elect to go? If you can make it to lap 50, you get one more stop out of the race, 50, 100 to finish.
Yeah. You very rarely ever that simple, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I'm saying it's wishful thinking, but if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, everything would be Christmas. And right now, that would be a strategist's best dream, but right now doesn't look like it's on the cards at the moment. Speaking of drivers coming in, Zier has elected to come in as well. She's taking service. As it looks like it's kind of a long stop here. 19, 20. Oh, she's still under in. Sorry, no mistake. She's not hit her box yet. So we'll see how long her stop is going to be, but she will also pit as well, leaving only the top 4 yet to make their first pit stops of the race. Gaiman in now. So looks like this is the magical window of electing the pit, and now I'd assume John Hagen's going to have to cover off this time by. Leaving only Hagen, Ryan, and Acosta still currently out. John Hagen is going to stay out here, not cover that off. Interesting call for the 52 machine. Christina Ryan will also stay out as well. Ruby Acosta will be coming in.
Philip Snipes is the fast lap of the race, 30.14.
It's going to be a question to see here if Philip Snipes can get around Gaiman. Looks like it's going to be not the case, as Gaiman's now leaving his box as we speak. Philip Snipes now entering 1. He's going to get speed.
No, it's going to be close.
It's going to be closer than I thought it was. He's going to get clear.
Yeah.
Ooh, yep. And I assume at the situation, he should be able to lead this race at the moment. John Hagen in box, by the way. Christine Ryan, only car still staying out at the moment. Going to try to make it to lap 40. I'm curious now how much time John Hagen has lost. Find out as the cars go on one more rotation here. We'll have a clue. He was running all right times, but fresh tires. Philip Snipes is able to clear John Hagen. Philip Snipes is able to clear Josh Gaiman with not ease, but kind of all right. And he was only about a second back of John Hagen, and John Hagen was on older tires. So we'll see how it all plays out as Christina elects to take her first stop here. Hagen still not left the box yet. 15 seconds, and away he flies. Looks like, I'm going to assume, Philip Snipes is going to get around here. There he zooms on by. Can Josh Gaiman follow suit here? Yes,
I think so. It's going to be close, but he will get it.
Yep, so Hagen takes a strategy chance here, goes longer, wants more tires later in the run, but Gaiman made the undercut work at the moment. And now the lead will presumably go to Philip Snipes here. As he crossed the start-finish line, Christina Ryan has now on her out of her box right now, but obviously falling in 4th, now to 5th. Should be able to stop the bleeding there and come in between, just ahead of Ruby. Actually, almost ahead of Ruby Acosta. Well, that's how the first pit stop cycle ends up completing here. Philip Snipes' undercut plays out magically wonderful, and he will be clear, but Josh Gaiman coming like a bull in a china shop here. In fact, the last lap was the best lap of the race, 29.9. 29.99. Now sets another purple lap, 29.96 for his troubles. He is flying right now. He's got that clean space, something he hasn't had the drop of his race, so he's really making that work, and he is reeling in that 98 at a quick pace. quicker pace than John Hagen is able to do here at the moment.
Few retirements in this race. Both the NPM cars of Presti and Sosi are out after 33 laps.
Yeah, we saw Saucier kind of struggling a little bit, elected to come in here. Nick Spessavage had a bunch of wall taps and maybe damaged the car a little bit too much. And maybe just felt like it wasn't worth accidentally getting in a wreck or taking someone out. But that is basically going to presumably, I wouldn't say it's going to eliminate the 94, but it's going to basically put him in a bad hole going into the final round where he would need a miracle, take home a championship. But obviously things can still change depending on that and how finishes and who runs where.
Keep an eye on Josh Gaiman as he tries to reel in Philip Snipes.
Honestly, right now, John Hagen and Lilac Zier going to be the friend right now is the 98 because Gaiman is catching. But catching's one thing, passing is another. And we'll see if the 61 it will force the issue because I feel like if you can get the clean space and get around, you should be able to kind of gap a little bit more with 52 and 89. So when the 52's tires come in, it's going to be a longer gap he'll have to clear. So see how bad the sturdy air affects this 61.
Gap is down to 0.4 of a second between Snipes and Gaiman for the lead of this race. We've had 3 lead changes between 3 different drivers. Actually, 4 lead changes between 4 drivers, including Christina Ryan's run at the front for a couple laps.
She led a couple laps. Right. Again, how aggressive will the 61 be here? He doesn't have the 52 breathing down his neck right now, but if he sits around long enough, it's going to make the problem worse. But look at that run.
Look at that run.
Yeah. But he's not going to press it.
Not the 3 and 4.
Nah. Would have been risky. But Hagen gets Snipes gets a good run off, though, to cover off a chance of the 1 and 2. Let's keep an eye on this intervals here. See if Hagen can close the gap and Lilac Zier as well. It is falling right now. It's down a 10th there, just through 1 and 2. Game, if he could set up a good run here, should be able to set something in the 1 and 2. And right there, he's a little bit closer this time. Yeah, and he will try to send 98. Will try to cover at first, but looks like it was more just getting loose than trying to cover. But Gaiman again, just a bit too far back to make a send, but just trying to maybe push 98 into a mistake here.
Oh, there he goes. Arcs it down off of turn 2, and they're going to be side by side into 3 and 4. And Gaiman's going to get clear, fresh tires.
Yeah. That's a clear right there. One positive is Hagen was able to get it down within a second before that clear happened. But now he's going to have to try to get around that 98 machine if he wants to keep up with 61.
And John Hagen's dispatched Zier. So 3 cars now in this group.
Zier's still there in the distance, but she's losing touch kind of quickly here. Good game plan right now is Hagen's going to have to kind of press it here a little bit. But if he overdoes it, he may end up reading himself the path of destruction. But right now, kind of sensing he needs to go for it. He's going to go through it in 3 and 4. Not the conventional place, but he'll get it clear. And he'll slide on up in that 52 National Guard machine. And he'll now be in P2 trying to hunt down the 61. Philip Snipes down the 3rd.
Hagan trying to reel in Josh Gaiman here. Fresh tires, back up a laps. Now Gaiman's on the defense. Opening part of this race, he was on the attack.
Here he comes. Again, how does he want to press? That just shows the overcut can work if you can make it run. We know Hagan's got some long run pace. We've seen it past couple weeks here. There was worry that the undercut could have, with not covering it off, could allow Gaiman the chance to pull enough of a gap, make it hard, but Fit 2 has reeled back in that 61 and is now looking to try to take back that lead. Meanwhile, you can all see in the distance shot right there, Zier is also catching Philip Snipes as well. So we could have two battles about to form. One for the lead and one for the last podium spot.
Well, a couple pit stops left to go. Guaranteed 2 pit stop race still in this race.
2 pit stop. Yep, if you don't save your tires, could even be 3, but looks like the 52 is going to send it in the 1 here. This is for the lead of the race. He will get it done, but if he goes too aggressive, almost hits the wall. Oh, he does hit the wall. He'll hit it a little bit. But he'll keep the run, and he'll keep the spot for the moment. So it's Hagan, Gaiman, Snipes, and Zier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the question is, can Hagan's not going to use these tires to his advantage, try to gap as much as he can for the next pit stop window opens. Presumably in about 10 laps time. We could say about 10 laps would be a safe estimation. No, that's a little bit short because it's probably around 66 to 76 window is where the window would be. So
yeah. Well,
the window will open about 10 laps here, so Hagan's going to want to press here, and Gaiman's going to want to keep it close. Meanwhile, that battle third is shaping up quite nicely here. Zier is filling up that orange car's mirrors. She is coming. She does have slightly fresher tires, similar to the Hagan-Gaiman battle. Zier has the fresher tires by 2 laps over that 98. You can just see the pace she's getting through the corners. Philip Snipes going to play defensive here, and not even going to put up a fight. Has a big gap in the 5th. Realize it's not the fight worth taking here and trying to fall back to Christina Ryan's clutches. Let's let Zier go and try to challenge back when the tires come back around. Speaking of Christina Ryan, she is 7 back of the leader, and she's about 3 seconds back of Philip Snipes at the moment.
Yeah, she stayed on extra long there, and it did not help her case at all.
Nope. The only advantage is she can now try to reel down the cars with the fresh tires. I think Zach Wright is taking a pit stop here, but he is 5 down, so not much to note of. Ooh, looks like
McBride comes down pit lane. At the front, McBride, at the front, Gaiman and Hagan still sitting pretty close.
Yep, Zach McBride has retired from this race. He hit the tire barrier coming into the pit lane, so, or maybe trying to miss pit lane, what have you. So he's out of this race, giving us another retirement, leaving us with only a handful of cars still running here at the moment. Another playoff driver, though, or I guess chase driver, if you will, falling to the wayside.
Hagan leading by 0.7 at the moment. But again, we know pit stops are incoming here shortly. Keep an eye on the lead battle is now the closest battle on track, but it is spreading out here. Hagen, fresher tires. Josh Gaiman using a little bit of strategy to get to the race lead for a little bit. How will it develop across the rest of the race? You see both of them as they go through 1 and 2.
We're on lap 62 here, about to hit 63. John Hagen has opened about a second lap gap to Joshua Gaiman. Has opened about 5-0. So that 52 is dialed in at the moment.
And the 52 looking for his first win in ABN competition.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that because I was worried that would jinx him. So I'm going to knock on wood for his sake. Or else we may get a friendly letter in the mail. But Josh Gaiman ain't going to make that easy regardless, though. Still keeping that 52 honest.
Hagen just had the wall and got loose.
Yeah. That's going to allow Gaiman to get a great run here. Not close at least a couple tenths there.
Slows down almost half a second.
Mm-hmm. Those wall taps are going to add up. If you hit it flush again, it's not going to really damage it. But the problem is you do enough damage, may get that dreaded meatball flag or that required damage flag, or get some required damage that has to be fixed, with flag or not flag. So every hit could put the 52 with a longer pit stop on the 2 crucial stops coming up. And we're about to hit that window opening in 2 laps time, at least the starting point of it. 66 to about 76. So we'll see cars starting to peel off here to take their second stop of the night. You don't want a long stop here, especially with competitive cars near you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Christina Ryan.
Good.
I was going to say, Christina Ryan was catching up to Philip Snipes here.
Philip Snipes has a 6-lap disadvantage on tires. He's expected to stop here beginning anytime between this lap and lap 70. Most of the field expected to come in after lap 70.
Yeah. And William Shock, the 98 pulls off here as the 80 is taking up the mirrors. 80 will get a round. 98 won't put up much of a fight. And it just shows the problem with the undercut, though, is that obviously when the tires came off and they fell off quick, 98 took the lead and has fallen all the way back to where he roughly was in P5. I actually think he was P6. He was behind Ruby Acosta when the stops began. So it's a net gain of 1 spot, but that's more because of Acosta having some troubles rather than the tires holding out for that 98 machine. But he likes his undercuts, and if he can time a caution right or it plays out right, he could easily make this work. So let's not count that 98. He has the pace. Just gonna need something to go his way here. But back up front, as we've still been following up front. I've been just talking about some cars farther back. The 52 is pulled out. Again, after that little wall tap, he's gotten it back to 1.2 here ahead of that 61. That blue and yellow machine, the 23 Sim Designs machine, is slowly getting smaller and smaller in his mirror, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's obviously a good thing in a sense, bigger gap, but that pressure, or at least that car getting farther away, may get you a little bit lax. Keeps you a little bit off edge. It's great in one way, but it's also sometimes a bit of a curse and a blessing. More of a blessing than a curse, but you lose that edge, it sometimes can be a bit of a bad thing. You don't push as hard, or you don't keep competitive times, and that can allow the 61 to close on up. About to hit lap 70 here. As the pit stop window has firmly opened. The longer you can go, though, obviously, you still got to make one more stop, but the longer you can go, the more comfortable you get within the final distance of the race.
Are about to go a lap down, I believe, is Acosta, who did not have a great stop on that last pit stop cycle.
Nope. 23 seconds for troubles. And she's coming off floor right now. It's a little bit of enough of a gap here. She'll be okay for the short term, but there you can see her right there in the shot. So that thing is beginning to close.
Oh, 0.7 now the gap. Philip Snipes staying with Christina Ryan in this battle for the 4th position.
Yeah.
We know pit stops are coming in here soon. Everyone's reached lap 72.
I can confirm right now, Philip Snipes is coming in, and Christina Ryan going to cover that off. I mean, I wouldn't say covering it off, that's the wrong term here to use, but she's coming in with, which is odd because Christina Ryan went the longest on the last pit stop window. She went to 39. So in theory, she could have went to 78. So early, meanwhile, Philip Snipes went a lot longer than he did last time. So very
Well, you
odd.
also look at the strategy call last time. Philip Snipes ended up with the race lead for a little bit. Christina Ryan ended up nowhere.
Correct. So, yeah, Christina Ryan trying a bit of a different strategy here. You are correct there, Carmen.
I mean, you may as well try.
Zier also in as well. So she is going to try something as well here. One lap earlier in that Ford Fusion, the PetHouse Ford Fusion. Just leaving Hagen, Gaiman, and Acosta, the only 3 yet to make a second stop here. Gaiman in now, so Gaiman in. Gaiman getting a little loose here on exit. He has a little bit of a wobble there. He'll get it woe down, but that thing was sideways, so we'll see if that's going to cost him some time here. He was struggling to get that thing in. Leaving the only 2 cars still on the track right next to each other, Ruby Acosta and John Hagen. So now the question really is with Philip Snipes and Christina Ryan currently out, Ryan was able to jump Philip Snipes, obviously came in. Obviously, Christina Ryan was ahead of Philip Snipes, so it wasn't really a jump. We'll see, though, how it all shakes out here. And we're kind of about 3-4 seconds behind Zier. See on the track map here. See if they can get around. Meanwhile, Hagen going to try to put Ruby Acosta 1 down. And he will successfully do that on her.
Acosta tagged the wall for trouble there.
Hagen in, giving Acosta the heads up. Unorthodox approach! He'll get it in, though. He will make the pit lane. So every car has made their second pit stop. Now the question is, where will it all shake out? Can Gaiman take the lead back here? As he was able to hold off the undercut charge of Zier covering it off, Gaiman will presumably take the lead if he can get this undercut to work. If not, John Hagen will take it back. You gotta be coming off of 4, or at least on the front stretch, coming off of 4, to have a logistic chance to clear the car on the cycle. So, see where the 61 is. John Hagen in his box right now, halfway done with the stop. And right now, I think it could be Gaiman taking it. Gaiman's coming off the back, switching out off the straight line. Hagen leaving his box right now. This should be Gaiman's lead.
Yeah, not even easier than what it was last time.
Yeah. Now the only downside is the 52 will not have, obviously he'll have the fresh tires. The downside is he did have some help with Philip Snipes kind of giving a little bit of a hold to Josh Gaiman on the last run. Now, Gaiman's got clean air and clean air alone. John Hagen's gonna have to run down 3 seconds here, which I assume he can do, but it's not gonna be easy.
No.
With no assistance.
Acosta taking extended repairs here. In pit lane now for 55 seconds and counting. Cayman holding on to a 3.25 lead.
We know Hagen's got that long run car. It will come in as the run goes on. His next pit stop should be the final one. Yeah, would comfortably get him in if they can hold it out. Focusing on this battle here for P4, Senior 9 Philip Snipes. Both came in pit lane at the same time. Both have the same tire life, if you will. Came in the same tire lap. So they should be on equal footing here to have this battle.
They are on equal footing. Again, battling for 4th place at the moment. Showing the information on your screen. Gap is opened up to 0.8 in favor of Christina Ryan. Cayman, his lead is shrunk to 2.3 over John Hagen.
It is closing. Looking at the lap times, last time by, 2 times faster Hagen was of Gaiman, 30.36 to 3.54. The gap is also shrinking here, at least a little bit as well. I should have said gaining. Ryan is kind of starting to gain a little bit on Philip Snipes. Right now, at the moment, this is the closest battle. Currently on track at the moment. At a second between Ryan and Snipes. But at the moment, it looks like we could see a closer battle forming in the lead. It's 2 seconds at the moment, but that is getting a shrink, but still not within an attacking distance at the moment. See, Ryan gets a little close to that wall there, but does not hit. He'll keep it going.
Yeah, this is the closest battle on track at the moment. The lead battle is closing in.
Was just under 2 seconds, falling back up to above, so it's hovering around 2 seconds at the moment for the lead.
Yeah.
This battle is staying a consistent about 1 second. Gaining a little bit, but still holding station. Both are kind of holding. Hey, you're keeping an eye on this. I'm keeping an eye on the lead one. We'll see what happens. We're past halfway here. We'll give you a quick race update here. Josh Gaiman leads the way at the moment. John Hagen in tow. Then Lilac Zier rounds up the current points leader on the penultimate round before the final championship round here, or I guess chase round. Currently sits in third. Christina Ryan, currently have on screen the Pennzoil machine, it's in fourth, with Philip Snipes in fifth. And those are the top 5 cars on the lead lap, with Ruby Acosta currently 3 down, currently in 6th position, and Zach McBride, Nicholas Pesci, and Bryce Saucier all currently out of this race. Hagen is coming. We do get a little score bug change there. We'll go with a nice little top down here. Hagen's got it down to 1.75. Faster 10th last time by. But should be worth noting that Josh Gaiman has had the fastest lap overall in this race with a 29.96, only driver to break into the 29s. So Gaiman's got is a little bit faster if they were on equal tires, but with the strategy, as the run goes on, it really favors Hagen. Gap is still closing here at the moment. Last time by again, Hagen was fast. He's chipping a 10th out of it per lap. But now it raises the question, and this is something I'm thinking about right now, as final pit stop is going to presumably loom. The window will open at 1:06 and close around 1:16. And that would get you to the end. Let's just say your tires would still be a bit on the iffy side.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder in this question that with Hagen, he's catching Josh Gaiman, but he's not catching at a fast enough rate. Does he try to cover, if we assume Gaiman's going to come in first, does he try to cover off if he gets ahead, or if Gaiman comes in, does he follow suit on the same lap and try to minimize the damage? We know Gaiman's got better short run pace, and Hagen's better long run. But Hagen's kind of bit the wheel twice. And we know from previous races, Emily Howe, great example. She has made the opposite work. She has reeled down strong competitor for strong competitor by that's gone for the undercut, has said, I'm going to do my own strategy, and has made it work to a T. But the question is, does John Hagen feel like he can do that same luxury with the remaining laps? It's about the same stint. It's not like it's a half stint. But it just makes you wonder if Hagen tries to play it conservative here, or does he play by his own rules? But we'll find out to answer that question soon. But right now, just some food for thought as we are coming up to lap 95, just nay of lap 100.
Gap is close to 6/10.
Mm-hmm. Should be also worth noting as another battle, we were kind of focused on the 4th, 5th battle as well. Philip Snipes has gotten within 4/10 of Christina Ryan, so 2 battles beginning to form here. But obviously the battle for the lead, a bit more, I would say, important, as this could shape a lot of things here in the playoffs, not the chase, playoffs force to have it, chase, and in turn make this quite an interesting fight going into Homestead.
Absolutely.
You can just see each lap, again, slightly faster by a 10th, John Hagen is. And we know he sent, last time he sent a move for 3 and 4. Actually, I think he did both times, both on Philip Snipes and Josh Gaiman. So it makes me wonder if he gets the run in 3 and 4, will he just say, all right, I'm taking it? However, again, the risk is if he ends up colliding with Gaiman, the big uh-oh would be is the current points leader is currently sitting in 3rd.
Yeah.
So if they tangle, it could either A, allow the 89 to get closer, or B, if they really screw the pooch, it could give the 89 a chance to win this race and make that run in the Homestead impossible for a championship run for Gaiman and Hagen.
Yeah.
And make it basically a senior title as Hagen gets loose, but he still keeps the car slightly going fast there. Just keep an eye on the cockpit camera with that. He had his hands full there to try to save that thing. Those winds playing a factor along with those old tires. So it's gonna help. You got the big fan on the back rear spoiler there. Shout out to the sponsor. But anyway, Hagen gonna make a move here. Should clear going into one. Leaves a little bit of space just to make sure. Doesn't want to send it and end up taking him out. He'll get the job done. He will get the pass cleared. And we are gonna put that 52 up to the point. But can the 61 answer back here? He's gonna try a little bit deep into the corner here. Try to keep it close, but you can just see tire wear finally playing off here. And that 52 will pull a little bit away here. Now the 52 is going to try to set sails. We hit lap 100. Clean air favoring the 52.
Yeah, Hagen, I think, is going to have to cover off the undercut here on this last pit stop cycle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. He's shown he can get it done within the time frame, but you don't want to put that extra pressure on you.
No.
Especially on the money stop. Especially considering how hard it can be to pass both on the same tires. We saw that early on in the race with Nicholas Presley and the whole fat pack kind of grouped up. It was easy to kind of hold your line and make it work. So whoever can kind of come out ahead if you're both on the same tires should, in theory, be able to keep the lead.
Lap 102 of lap 146 in the books, and Hagen back to the lead. How do these last 44 laps go? As this battle kind of dissipates, this battle remains ablaze.
Yeah, but keeping an eye on it. It's been basically, Phillips was able to kind of close it in, and it's been just kind of consistently there. A couple tenths separate the two of them. Neither car can really get an advantage. It's a little loose there off corner, gonna hurt the run. Oh, big smack of the wall there.
Snipes, yeah.
Really struggling with that tire wear. As the
little
window
bit,
is now officially opened. Obviously, it would be a tall ask to make it 40 laps, but can be done. Oh, and for those, just in case the timing and scoring is kind of throwing you off, it is still on a green flag running. Even though the timer, the lap thing is yellow, it is still green flag running. So don't let the yellow thing fool you there. It is green. Hagen, though, has opened up 2 seconds, so I'm keeping an eye on that pedal, too. And Hagen is pushing it.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not saying anything, because I don't want to put the jinx out there, but he's doing good right now. So is Gaiman. And Zier's doing what she needs to do. This battle 4th and 5th rages on.
This battle's still heating up then. Philip Snipes recovering nicely from that wall tap. Once again, challenging for 4th place at the moment.
Got a good run there. Couldn't really take it much, but he got that run. Get another one here. And looks like pit stops here. They're coming in for their final stop here in succession. One covering off the other. Oh, Ryan hits the Tinner in a wall. She's hit the tires. And that's what I was talking about in the pre-show. It's very easy if you go just a little too wide to hit the tires. We saw it with Zach McBride earlier, and we've seen it with Christina Ryan now. Let's hope she hasn't damaged that car too bad, but oh, that is going to be a kick in the teeth for the 80 machine.
Yeah, not how she wanted that to go.
You can say that
by
again.
Any means.
Have to keep an eye on her damage clock here. See if she has a long one. Philip Snipes away right now. It's 15-second stop. Obviously, Christina. See if it's 15 or is she going to be here longer? She's out with 14. Zier in. Flashed in for a second, then flashed out, then flashed in. So she is now in. She's pitting from 3rd. Had a big gap over Philip Snipes, Christina Ryan, just kind of covering off just to be safe. All right, for her final stop of the night. Gaiman also in as well at the moment. And he will make his final pit stop, leaving just 2 people, Ruby Acosta, who went long last time, and our race leader, John Hagen. And like you were saying, Carmen, you think he should cover this off. As he gets fighting that wheel, that thing was sideways.
He's not covering it off, I don't think.
He should. We'll see if he does. He is not, well, he does go wide here. Yep, he is coming in. He is covering this off. Don't want to speed.
He's got to be careful. Oof, that was close.
Yeah, he got it. He got it safely. Oh. Don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. Don't want to cut off your nose to save your face. Phillips nice just set the fast lap of the race, by the way. Obviously, lower fuel rolls in the car with fresh tires. That will do that for you in a grip track. 20.9.92 for his troubles, but I feel like that time will fall.
Hagen on pit lane. There's Gaiman. Running for 3 and 4 right now.
Yep. Out of the box. I think this is going to be the key. Hagen's going to keep this. It's going to be close.
Yeah, I think he's pretty well got it here. He's out of pit lane now.
Yep. It's going to be the run.
It's going to be cold tires for Hagen, so it's not going to be easy.
He'll have about a second. The battle box pops up here. It's actually been a little closer than that, under a second. He timed it right. He's got the clean air. He's just going to have to get those tires to get the warmth in them. And it's smooth sailing. Christina Ryan is up the road there. She is currently on the lead lap, but could be in a danger going 1 down here. And could make life a pain for the 52 as the cold tires are striking. He's hit the wall a couple times there. It's going to allow Gaiman a chance. This could be the move that wins the race.
Pressure is on for John Hagen.
That was the mulligan. Doesn't have another one. Use his 1 mulligan there. If Gaiman doesn't make a mistake, he's going to have to be just as good as Gaiman is. Or better. What can Gaiman do here? Gets a run here. He's thinking about sending, and he is basically pushing that 52 down the straight. Again, known for a short run pace, that 61. If he's going to have to attack, he's going to have to do it now. But right now, in Hagen's mind, there's one big Pennzoil machine just up the road there. Bit of lap traffic, well, not technically lap traffic, but could be going down lap traffic that could plague this 52 here or the 61, whoever gets ahead first and gets to it. Will Christina Ryan, obviously she can put up a fight if she chooses. She doesn't have to yield. Will she be respectful or will she fight to stay on the lead lap if a caution were to come out?
That's going to be interesting. Damon staying right on the bumper of that 52 car.
Ryan going to pull off to the side here. Not going to interfere with this battle. Going to let these two duke it out. Knowing she's been in this situation before, doesn't want to ruin the fun. Also, if she were to get put a lap down, she could easily get the lucky dog and get put a lap back up. Hagen, though, it's the run. Holding on for now.
Gaiman trying to chase down Hagen. Gap is not left 2/10. Coming to 25 laps to go.
You can cut the tension with a knife right now. Gaiman looking for another win. Hagen looking for a first one. If by proxy something happens, Zier is 15 seconds back, and Philip Snipes is 20.
Hagen beginning to pull away just a little bit here.
.24 to go. Hagen that time by was slower by a couple tenths. 30.34, 30.31 favored Gaiman. As you can see on the track map, no traffic ahead. It will not hit any before the end of this race. What the pace they're running and the pace they're running. Gaiman getting another run here. Just can't sell it off of 4. He'll have to settle.
Very difficult job. Hagen defending like his life depends on it.
I think Hagen's in his mind. He knows if he can get to a certain point, he'll get where he needs to go. He knows he's got the long run. He knows he gets the better wear late. He knows he can get the car better late. We saw it at Phoenix. We've seen it multiple times throughout this season. He's got good late run pace. I just feel like he's right now just got to keep that 61 behind him, and at a certain point, he'll have smooth sailing. But right now, he's just got to keep that 61 who's busy and aggressive. As 61 gets loose, he hits the wall a couple times, and that's going to cost him a couple tenths. That's going to give Hagen a mulligan if he needs it, as he's pulled it up to 0.71. That's also going to make Gaiman a bit more aggressive if he gets back up. Just to show you the difference in times, that wall tap 30.50 for Hagen, 30.97 for Gaiman. Easily half a second difference in times.
gap is opening up now pretty significantly. I think Gaiman's stopped pushing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe overcooked the tires a bit. May need to cool them. And like I said, I think there was a point where I said if Hagen could hang on to the bucking Bronco, he could be able to set sail. And right now he's doing that. That blue and yellow machine is getting farther and farther in the mirrors. Can't take the foot off the goal. Still getting sideways there. He is fighting. That 61 is fighting that machine. And that gap is pulling. 1.5, 18 to go.
Gap has opened up to 1.6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Hagen in his element now, and now in pressure.
I think the main thing, obviously, still ways to go here. Obviously, Hagen's first about trying to get that trophy, then worrying about a championship. We'll see how it swings. Remember, going into the night, Gaiman was 51 back on Zier. Hagen was only 26. Christina Mine was 16, and Ruby Acosta was 46, and Nicholas Presley was 48, and Zach McBride was 56. Actually, sorry, Gaiman was a little bit more than that. So Gaiman farther back. But irregardless of that point, though, we'll see how it swings with the points and how close can Hagen get to Zier if, again, Hagen can hang on. Right now, 52 is looking like he's in his element. He's in another world right now, a Zen world, if you will, as he's pulling and pulling away from Gaiman. This is the farthest gap he's had on that 52 tonight, 2.5.
John Hagen, with coming to 13 laps to go, has not won an ABN or HTL competition yet in his career. But he is very close to hitting pay dirt.
And the thing is, he's been close multiple times throughout this season. Battles at Howe, battles at tracks, made mistakes, got in the hornet's nest, got in the weeds. If he can hang on for 13 more laps, it's going to feel bittersweet. Like a long time coming, but again, 13 laps, even though the laps are so short around here, even though you can get 2 laps done in a minute, it's still going to feel like an eternity for that 52, as now it's up to 3 seconds. Again, we'd like to thank everyone that tuned in here on this Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us on ABN as we're coming to the finish here of the Darlington race here. And you're in for an exciting finish. We'll see what can hang out here. But again, thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday night as John Hagen has gotten up to 3.5, and he is pulling and pulling. He's actually at a point where I said he wasn't going to catch lap traffic with the pace we're going. Now there's a good chance that 52 will catch lap traffic, as he is on the pace to catch Philip Snipes in that 98. 10 to go. About 15 miles to go here. Philip Snipes going to pull out into the pit lane here. Not going to put up any sort of challenge or fight that 52 machine. Actually, may Pitt try to go for the fast lap here would be my proposal here.
I mean, why not? He's been setting fastest laps. Everything was, I mean, it's pit lane, so.
Yeah, and he's not fighting for a championship. He's just here for pride. So maybe try to do something. Should be worth noting that he does already have the fastest lap, so it's already in his camp. He's just going for the go faster.
Absolutely.
Coming to 7 to go.
Yeah, we're watching.
He's got that. 61 is a distant blop in the mirror. 6 seconds.
It is not close right now.
No.
Gaiman tagged that wall, and it was over.
Yeah, cooked the tires, and that's all she wrote. Again, Hagen just had to hang on to that bucking Bronco, and he did. And now he's got it tamed. He's tamed the horse, if you will. Now he's just got to finish the deal. Oh, is he? Gaiman hits the wall. Sorry, that was... I was watching Gaiman. Gaiman just smacks the wall a ton there. And it's going to make the gap grow bigger. But Gaiman's well truly in second, though, is Zier is about 14 back of Gaiman, so no real risk of second place falling. Should be worth noting as well, Christine Ryan also pitted as well, same time as Philip Snipes, to presumably get fresh tires to the finish and maybe go for a fast lap chase as well.
Yeah.
On the backstretch, 5 to go. It makes me wonder how aggressive is this 52 going to be here. Obviously, you don't want to get yourself out of the rim, but at the same time, you don't want to push too hard and leave yourself to a path of destruction.
I think he's pretty well set and dry here.
That's what I'm thinking too. Obviously, but we've seen crazier things happen on final laps. Just got to bring it home smooth. As he hits 3 to go, as he comes off 4 here. There's one more car up the road. That is Ruby Acosta. But again, I don't think John Hagen will hit that car where we see pay dirt. Oh, he is flirting with that wall, but that's how he's done it all night. He's not turned that off, switch off until he sees that checkered flag.
No.
Ooh, little loose there. 2 to go. Even if there was a caution, remember, no green red checkers, the race would be official. Actually, that was Christina Ryan that John Hagen was coming close up to, but it's not going to matter here.
Coming to the white flag with 1 lap to go. John Hagen, less than 1.3 miles from a first career victory in ABN competition.
Darlington's a very tough track to tame. John Hagen's made it look like child's play. As he sets himself up perfectly 3 and 4, as long as he doesn't loop it here, he should be good. Coming off of 4, John Hagen will see the checkered flag and get his first win in ABN competition. It's going to feel bittersweet for him, and he is your winner here in the PetHouse 200. Josh Gaiman is going to bring it home in second position, and Lilac Zier will bring it home in third. And that will be your top 3. So you see the rest finish out here, but it's going to feel like a long time coming for John Hagen, getting that monkey off the back, if you will. And now he's going to get to burn it down in that number 52 National Guard machine. It's been a long time coming. Let's see what he does here. How aggressively he burned this down. There goes Pops the clutch, and there he spins. I guess my next question is, will he blow the engine?
I would. He's been waiting for this moment for a while.
There it goes.
Yep. We're waiting for it to go.
Just kind of waiting. But regardless of that, as heel toe, do not go anywhere for the viewing audience. We will have the top, at least the top 3. We'll see also the top 5. We'll see how it shakes up. But at least know the top 3 will be in here with Hagen, Gaiman, and Zier if we can get them. But do not go anywhere. We'll have those interviews coming up.
I should start off with our race winner. We'll start off with John Hagen.
Yeah.
John, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I think you got a copy. You know you got a copy. Let's go.
Obviously, it's been a long time in the making, and it was not easy. Pole position. Didn't have to get to lead the opening laps, but despite everyone that kind of stepped in front of you, you're able to get back in front. And when it matters most, you're able to get your first race win. How are you feeling? Obviously, we can tell the excitement there for you, but finally getting that first race win and breaking through. How are you feeling?
This giant gorilla that's been making living on my back is gone. I can't feel my hands. I'm feeling great. Anything I'd ever dream of winning this race. Feeling awesome.
We talk about how much you've been on the podium, how much you've been so close but so far away. It seemed like it was a matter of time. And that battle with Josh Gaiman, someone that you've been able to race with, someone you've been able to call a teammate, someone you've been working with that battle with him being how that you got your first race win, how did that mean having that battle be the deciding factor?
It was amazing. Josh raced me super clean all night. I tried to race him super clean. I threw one block when I knew I couldn't give up that position. But, I mean, it's amazing. I put some practice in for this race. I knew it was going to be tire heavy. And so I just worked on slipping the tires as little as I could. And it paid off. I might have been a tenth slower in the short run, but it made up for it on the long run. And thank you to Josh for racing me clean there, and it was awesome.
Absolutely. Obviously, the championship now very much in reach with your race win tonight. One race left in this season. Obviously, then you have the HTL Cup Series to focus on as well. How much does this boost your confidence going into not only next week, but beyond that, now that you've gotten that first race win and broken through with a lot of drivers you see on Monday nights as well?
I'm just glad to get my name in that winner's book, man. I think my confidence is at an all-time high, and I'm ready to take it on. So let's bring on that championship. I don't know where I sit in points, if I'm just barely back or if I'm in the lead or what. Doesn't matter. We're going to go out there next week and do as best we can. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Unofficially right now, you've definitely closed the gap to the championship points lead. You're not there yet, but very much in range with a huge possibility to take it at Homestead. It's going to be a run to the wire, but you finally got your first race win here in ABN competition. Before I let you go and let you fully celebrate here tonight, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, John, the floor is yours. You did a phenomenal job, and we get to see you a lot more here as HCL keeps going on, obviously on Mondays, and we have one more race on Wednesdays here in this series.
I want to thank my beautiful girlfriend for sticking by me watching this race tonight. Thank you to Jacob Shangle, and JSR Racing getting me in here once again. Thank you to Stepping Stone and Josh Gaiman for working with me throughout this whole year leading up to this point. And thank you to y'all, obviously, for putting on this wonderful event and this wonderful series.
John Hagan, race winner here tonight. A phenomenal job for the 52 crew. Jacob Shingle Racing gets its first win in ABN competition. John Hagan gets his first win with one race to go in the season. Darlington belongs to John Hagan. Enjoy it, and we'll be seeing you next week at Homestead.
Thank you.
That was John Hagan, race winner here tonight. We're going to talk next to the second place finisher, Josh Gaiman. So close, yet so far away, and it slipped from his fingertips with 23 laps to go. Josh, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
What a drive. Second place. Not quite a race win tonight, but you did a phenomenal job either way. Being able to battle with John Hagan there. Led some laps early on. Led some laps throughout. Walk us through what went wrong and what you could have possibly done differently.
John was just so smooth in this car. He's got awesome long run pace. He's had it all season, really. I mean, you know, we've seen it race in and race out, and luck just wasn't going his way. And luckily, everyone kept it super clean tonight, super respectable. And that luck finally turned around for him, so there was just really no stopping him. Yeah, like I said, he's got phenomenal long run pace in this thing. I really don't. I could keep with him on the short run there, but you know, once the right rear goes, I'm you know, in uncharted waters for me. So yeah.
Obviously, this race leads way to one last race in the season. You talk about this, you know, this battle for the championship. You missed the race, obviously, earlier, I think, in the playoffs. So it kind of puts you back, but you're still in range with this result to still have a fighting chance for the championship at Homestead next week. But obviously, looking beyond that, you have a lot of championship activities going on in ARCs, obviously in SNS and in A Squared. You have HTL running as well. I guess the big thing with this season coming to an end, how do you manage all of that stuff? Because you are a top-tier driver and you're a championship contender in every single series. How do you manage that? And obviously, what have you been able to sort of put together for this series, a car that's completely different than anything else that you run, to try to keep that consistency and keep that front-running pace?
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is I've been doing it since, like, you know, I was like 5 or 6 years old. NASCAR Racing 2 was my first game that I ever had. So you could say I've been doing this a while. And it's been a minute that I since I started, but you know, to get a little bit more detailed, it's just, you know, I don't over practice. I think everyone knows that about me by now. Usually I'll maybe run some laps before the session goes up, and it keeps me from getting too used to one car at any given time, and it allows me to just kind of hop in and go. I have been driving the next gen car a lot more because I run it 2 times a week, so I kind of do some A-fixed here and there, just to really learn the car more and focus on that. But yeah, it's just not over practicing one thing and kind of keeping my options open with what I want to run.
Well, obviously it works out for you because you're front running all the time. Second place tonight with one race to go in the season, and a lot more racing to come here over the next couple months across Mondays, Saturdays, Sundays. Before I let you go and let you get ready for the next week of racing that's coming up here very shortly, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Josh, the floor is yours. Congrats on another phenomenal podium result tonight.
Yeah, absolute shout out to John. He was a rocket ship tonight. You know, it's good to have him hanging around with Stepping Stone and helping everyone get better. He's got a lot of knowledge with this car specifically, and is really learning the next gen as well. You know, he's fast in both, so it's a matter of time until he gets a win in that car as well. It'll come sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So it's good to have him on my side, to be honest. So, shout out to 213 Simware, Coney Setup Shop, W Energy as always. It's always awesome to have them on board. Just shout out Stepping Stone in general. Everyone's been working hard and busting their butts to just turn that luck around and put ourselves up front in everything we do. Shout out to you for putting on the broadcasts and the series, all at the same time, and it's I know it's a lot of work, so appreciate you for doing it.
It's been a lot of fun seeing everyone race this car this season with one race to go. Josh Gaiman has a chance at the championship with one race to go at Homestead next Wednesday. Josh, appreciate it. We get to see you a lot more here. It's coming up this weekend in just a few days' time. But enjoy the podium, and hopefully we get to talk to you a lot more this weekend.
Hopefully.
That was Josh Gaiman, second place finisher here tonight for Stepping Stone Motorsports. Third place, Lilac Zero up next. Loves this track, loves the style of racing. Another podium for Lilac Zero, who moves on to the unofficial points lead. Lilac, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I hear you.
Alrighty, third place. Not a bad result, given how insane the pace was for Hagen and Gaiman. But for you, a track that you enjoy, another good result, another positive result after finishing well in SNS earlier in the season for them. Walk us through your race and if there's anything you possibly could have done differently tonight.
Well, yeah, qualify better and drive faster, I guess, but that's hard to do. Car was just... I couldn't get a handle on how loose it was on long runs. I mean, it was tight on short runs, and then the right rear I was burning the right rear off for whatever reason. Messed up lap 2 of qualifying, so I had to start behind some cars, worked my way up there eventually, but it was just, by the time I got to third even, there was no catching those guys, and then they still pulled away more. But, pretty good race. It was fun. It was a fun challenge to hang on to the looseness. Just wish I did a better job of it. I feel like a 1980s NASCAR race would be in third, like miles behind the top two. But that's how it goes sometimes. Had the title sponsor of the race on the car, so good for the sponsors.
Absolutely, and obviously one race left, still very much in range for a championship, for your first championship in ABN competition. Walk us through how you get ready for Homestead next week. Obviously, you have to balance that with MSC HDL competition and RxSNS, where you're also a contender in those series as well. How are you looking forward to Homestead? Are you looking to Homestead, and what are you expecting of that 89 crew come next Wednesday?
Yeah, Homestead's pretty good. I've had some good races there and some not so good races there. I like it in stock cars. It's just going to depend on what the setup's like and how well I can adapt to that. And then, we'll do what I usually do, push hard but not too hard, and hope that other people make more mistakes. And then, the fastest car doesn't always win. So that's the strategy that got me here, so I'll stick with it.
Absolutely. Well, you've gotten to the championship finale coming up next Wednesday in prime real estate position to take your first championship in ABN competition. We can't wait to see how you take on that race next Wednesday, as well as races in between that. Before I let you go, though, if there's anyone want to shout out and say thank you to, Lilac, the floor is yours. Congrats on another phenomenal podium result.
Yeah, thanks for broadcasting and hosting it, and thanks to all my friends and everyone who watched and all the competitors, and we'll just try to send off the season strong.
Absolutely. Lilac's your third place finisher tonight. A phenomenal result here at Darlington for the 89 crew with one race to go, unofficially still in the points lead. Lilac, enjoy it, and we'll be seeing you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
We got one more person to interview here tonight, and that will be Philip Snipes. Philip Snipes, the number 98 crew, fourth place tonight. His run of form continues tonight. Ran with the fastest lap of the race, I do believe. No, that actually ended up, I think, going to Gaiman at the end there. But Snipes, a lot of pace, just did not have the strategy call in the right position. We'll hear what he has to say here with his fourth place finish. Philip, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Obviously, a fourth place finish tonight, given the pace that number 98 car had, seems a little bit disappointing. Walk us through it. What went wrong, and obviously, what could you possibly done any different to try to hold it a candle to Hagan and Gaiman? Because that 98 car had the pace for it.
Yeah, it sort of went off the rails that first stint, probably about lap 10. I had the same issue I had at Twin Ring Motegi where the steering wheel decided to detach, and I just had to slow down and connect it and fall back in line. And with Darlington being a track it's hard to pass with such fast cars, it was just do different strategies than what everybody else was doing.
You had the pace, obviously, tonight. You ran a 29.80, the second fastest lap behind just that of Josh Gaiman. You showed that pace phenomenally this season. With Homestead coming up here, the last race of the season, how are you looking forward going into that race to end out your season song? Already a two-time race winner in this series. What does that look like for you going forward as far as just getting ready for the last race of the season? Do you think that you've got a good chance of getting 3 wins before the season ends?
That's the goal, and don't want to mess up anybody's championship. So do it with grace and give everybody room because I know what they're racing for.
Absolutely. You've done a fantastic job just rising through the field, joined the season late, already got 2 race wins, and you've had a very resilient set of top 5 finishes all season long here with 1 race to go. It's been impressive to see, nonetheless. I think a lot of people have definitely taken notice of what you can do here in this car, in this series. The number 98 car, once again, top 5 tonight. Obviously, technical issue aside, a good result nonetheless. Got to see you battle a lot with Christina Ryan there with Lilac Zier. A phenomenal result for the number 98 crew. Before we let you go, though, and let you enjoy the rest of your week, we don't get to see you very often, but if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, Philip, the floor is yours. You did a great job tonight.
Again, thank Emily Howe for putting the setup together. It was a great setup, great thing to drive. Thank you, Carmen, and ABN for putting this on. It's an awesome experience to come out here every Wednesday and hopefully put on a show for everybody.
Absolutely. The number 98 crew representing the Tennessee Volunteers sitting 4th place tonight at Darlington. Philip, congratulations on that top 5 result. Hopefully we get to see you a couple places higher next week for the season finale. But enjoy the race, and we can't wait to keep an eye on the 98 at Homestead.
Yep. See you next week.
It's Philip Snipes, 4th place finisher here tonight. The results have been at the top of your screen, but we'll pull them up here on the finishing order here. John Hagan, Josh Gaiman, and Lilac Zier, top 3 tonight. Philip Snipes, Christina Ryan, Ruby Acosta, Zach McBride, Nick Pressey, and Bryce Saucier rounding out the field here. A very smaller, abbreviated field here at at Darlington, with the finale at Homestead coming up in just a week's time. We get to stay busy here on ABN Esports 1. Tomorrow, it's preseason testing for the ABN High Performance season. That begins tomorrow, 8 p.m. You're going to want to be right here on ABN Esports 1. Saturday, it's the ARCS Saturday Night Showdown Series from Lime Rock Park. Sunday, it's the ARCS A-Square Cup Series. Me and Kevin will be there once again from the Charlotte Roval.
Playoff elimination race.
Absolutely, round of 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monday, the HL Cup Series heads to Road America. More road course racing Sunday and Monday in our Gen 7 Cup Car Series. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then obviously we'll be right back here on Wednesday next week for the season finale of the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series to crown a champion of this first season. That's the next week coming up here. We have a lot of information coming up on abnesports.com, our website, over the next week, so you want to stay tuned to that as well. On behalf of everyone here, though, for ABN, for our partners, AdminBoxx, E83 Flying Machines, and everyone involved tonight, we appreciate you. On behalf of my co-commentator, Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Sienna. On behalf of everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun this week, but we'll see you tomorrow night at Okayama. Until then, so long, everybody.